Hey, hello, Social Goons. My name is Alex, and welcome back to Batman Arkham Knight. I apologize if I sound kind of tired. That's because I kind of am. So in the last video, we managed to figure out where the remaining Ace Chemical staff is located, and we are going to save them, along with take care of the entirety of Ace Chemicals in this episode. Now, what I just did was that I am trying, what I'm trying to do now is to get control of this panels for later, just to save myself, save myself an extra step, right? Unfortunately, after the initial wave of enemies, you have these ninjas. Now, this actually brings me into something that I wanted to talk about, but I never really had a chance to do it. So, we are introduced to a few more enemies in this game. Well, technically, they've also been in the previous games, but I have not played Origins for the channel yet. I have played Origins several times. Highly underrated. You should play it on Steam if you can, because that's like Steam's like really the only place that you can play it along with the DLC, because while I do have the PS3 version, well, let's just say that my PS3 was well, actually I don't really know how to describe it. It's just very weird, but anyway, so. So we had the ninjas, which are basically a bladed enemy, or any enemy with a sword or knife. You can't counter them easily. You can dodge their attacks and also do an instant takedown with them, but I was never able to do the latter. So yeah, that's a big issue for me. And actually, I did want to take a bit of a sidestep to talk about some of the character models, because I like how this game does them. You know, Batman Arkham City and freaking Asylum, for that matter. They made Batman's chest very broad and bulky, especially, also with the arms, which I can kind of see the influence. Batman the animated series, I can totally get that, but I like the more evened out look that Knight provides. Like, this looks like a Batman that could easily kick your ass with, like, very, very minimal effort, you know? And realistically do it, too, by the way. Okay. And also for the Knight, I really like his suit. It is a militaristic Batman suit, but I really love it. I think it is one of the coolest designs ever in the entire franchise. But, you know, I do have some issues with his character, but that's a topic for another time. So during that little combat section, we were able to use the Batmobile, and that gives you a hint that you can use it in future combat segments if it is anywhere close to you. And it also shows what happens if you don't roll over a charging thug or knock him out with a batarang. They will drag you to the floor and will break up your combo, along with doing a little bit of damage. That can be kind of annoying, but thankfully they are easily telegraphed because of their animation, along with the red indicator. But you know. Anyway, so back to my original topic, which was the enemy classes. There is another one that was introduced, I want to say, in a previous episode. Well, actually, I think it was the episode before this one. those are the medics. They are easily indicated by having white and red all over them. You know, like kind of on the nose with them. Now, the medics are kind of annoying for 2 reasons, right? Well, I say 2 reasons. Well, actually, yeah. It is 2. So, right now, what a medic can do is that they can bring back an unconscious enemy. You know, because Batman doesn't kill, right? But if an enemy is knocked out, a medic will use one of their kits in order to bring them back. Now, they do have 3 kits at a time, but it's kind of annoying having to deal with that the entire time. So, based on that alone, medics are my first target if they're in a combat or a stealth section. Also, later on, we'll see that they can help other thugs in combat by conducting an electric shock through the malicious suits, which is honestly kind of clever. But again, it's also kind of annoying because that gives me extra incentive to take them out first. And also, I think that it gives, like, I think that in that sense, it does a good job of teaching the player to prioritize certain enemies, which you know, I'm all here for, but we won't deal with the latter part until much later. Now, for tanks, we actually have a little bit of an addition. So, most of these tanks that you see right now are called Cobras, and yes, there is a snake motif thing going on with the entirety of these tanks. I don't know why. Just roll with it, okay? So we have the regular Cobras, right? No, wait. Are these Cobras? Like, I keep forgetting. Maybe it's a. Well, I'll be corrected about this later on. Jesus Christ, I heard some. Anyway, but those other tanks that shoot 3 missiles, those are called Diamondbacks, and they are pretty tough, as you saw throughout the previous tank segment. Now, Diamondbacks can not only shoot 3 missiles at once, but they can but they can eat quite a few shots from your cannon. As in the 60 millimeter cannon, but you know. But that's just here right there. I'm so sorry. Anyway, I do want to talk about the I do want to rant about the Batmobile for a little bit, but right here is an Easter egg. So if you go over here and zoom in there, you see Copperhead Poison. Now, that is a reference to Arkham Origins, because there was a character there named Copperhead. And that just gives us a little bit of an implication that Origins is canon to the Arkham series, because, you know, like, lots of people like to disregard Origins because it wasn't made by Rocksteady and all that jazz, but, you know, like, Origins is a good game. It is criminally underrated. It has been criminally underrated for a very long time. like yeah. It does have problems like being city, but unnecessarily bigger. But for what it is a great game. Like seriously, I don't get why people hate it all that much. Oh, but speaking of hate, let's talk about the Batmobile segment. So, this little area right here, I think it does give you I think this is a fine enough integration of the Batmobile into the world of Arkham, into the Arkham world, right? Because like with these steam valves, normally you'd be able to use a freeze bomb with it, and since we don't have that, we have to rely on the Batmobile, and honestly, it works. It is a perfectly fine integration of the Batmobile, and also, as I've said many times beforehand, Batman is going up against an army with tanks that will rip him to shreds in like less than a minute. Even with this highly durable armor that he has, which makes him so fast he can knock out at least 3 guys in one move. But you know, it's like, so like I can understand people not really jiving with the tank combat, but it's not the worst thing in the world, okay? The worst thing would definitely be the Riddler races. I am not gonna get over that. I am not gonna get over that. Why does Riddler have racetracks? I don't fucking get it. Like, good lord. Anyway. So, we'll be back in the elevator segment again. So, you know, you may want to get comfortable being at that particular spot, but, you know, just game design things, you know. Oh God, I must be really out of it, like. I still have another voiceover to record. God damn it. So, anyway. Great. This is technically our first introduction to them, and alternatively, instead of going over to them and ripping them off the hinge, you can instead just use your back claw. It is a little more weird, I will admit, but well, like, I don't think it saves you time or anything, but it is still there. So, and also with that fear takedown, I was able to take on a medic, and now when these guys go down, they will be down for good in the whole match. It's like, I'm pretty sure some of them die at the end of the Ace Chemical segment, but it's kind of whatever. Though, thankfully, the thugs are not quite as bad. You know, I mean, like. Yeah, like freaking pay attention. That should come without saying. But it's not the end of the world with this kind of formation, though. Oh, and also while I am looking at this, I should also point out that I did want to bring up the models again. I don't think that faces. Like Batman in particular, I don't like his face when he has the cowl on. I don't like it. His lips look way too big. He looks almost like a fish, or he's having an allergic reaction to something. I really don't like that. You know, it is kind of distracting. So, or maybe it's the cowl squeezing on his head or something. I don't know. it's just kind of annoying for me to look at. I don't really know why. But we're not quite done with this yet, because excuse me, we have a chopper, and this is a boss fight, by the way. I don't know why it is. I just, oof. This is one of the lowest points. Well, actually, this is one of the weaker boss fights in the franchise because, well, it's not really all that interesting or fun. It's kind of annoying, if anything. And I mean, like, if you introduce something, you better damn well use it, you know. So they do that part fine at least, but it's not very intuitive. It's mostly just annoying. So the chopper will shoot out these missiles that you can shoot with your Vulcan gun, and will shoot out rockets. It'll shoot out rockets in a pattern, you know, like you know, typical video game shenanigans, right? And like I would love to use my frickin' what was it? My full weapon thing on it, but there's also tanks in this arena, so it kind of goes for them, which also sorry. But the tanks taking up your weapon charge kind of makes the fight drag out a little bit more than it needs to. So, like, as you saw, I was able to make mincemeat out of it with barely any upgrades, but it's still rather annoying to try to dodge, to try to hit it, especially since it's a nimble motherfucker. But, you know. Now, we need to get inside of the Ace Chemicals building itself, but the only way in is blocked off. And now, we gotta improvise. Though, thankfully, the answer is not as, it's not as hard as you think. You know, just a plain shot to the wall and it'll work. But the thing is, you need to make sure that you do the proper story segment first before you start shooting up the wall. Otherwise, it will not work. And as for the ramp, you just need to position it in the grid box, which can be a little bit annoying given these crane controls. I will admit they're not very good. But thankfully, this is the only time that you have to use it like this. Thankfully, it's the only time. I think it was just being kind of picky with this. Like, they don't really know for certain, but eventually I stopped dicking around and decided, okay, time to do this. Now there are a few more things that are kind of introduced in this particular area inside the building itself, but we will talk about it in a sec. We got Diamondbacks right now, and when trying to beat the Diamondbacks with the Vulcan gun, I don't really understand how it's supposed to work, but you know. It kind of is what it is. So, this introduces us to sentry guns. Now, these things are kind of like a miniature version of the tanks. You need to avoid their line of sight so you can dismantle them. Now that's pretty easy. All I gotta do is just get behind a turret and then press the triangle button if you're playing this on PlayStation. or if you're playing with a PlayStation Remote. But so they can add a little bit of challenge to your playthroughs, but I just think they're kind of an annoyance, really. And I don't know what the camera angle was like for there, but anyway. So Gordon and the cops are now held up in GCPD. Meanwhile, Batman is still in here trying to deal with Scarecrow's bomb, which he learned from the first guy that we were saving. Or no, it wasn't the first guy. It was the second guy. So, yeah, that's the major thing here. Now we have 2 medics here. Thankfully, though, Fury Takedown was able to take care of at least one of them. Don't know what I did for the other one. I know I didn't do an environmental takedown. I did it for this guy and also get some other people off my back. But when that happens, when he does that little animation of his, you need to go over to him as soon as you can before he starts. Before he's finished with that animation, because once he's done, he will instantly bring back the knocked out enemy, and that can go for just about any kind of thug in the game, you know. And each faction has their own version of a medic, you know. I believe Harley's crew has one. Penguin's definitely has one. Two-Face. Though you will see them under different circumstances. But yeah, it's kind of. But you know. Anyway. So there's some barbed spikes up there, and you need to use the Batmobile's ejection feature in order to get out of there. So what these guys are doing now is that they are loading up fear toxin, and yeah, you need to stay out of their line of sight because it's a stealth section, and I'm just trying to figure out which one I can go for first, which thankfully was this one. Yeah, I went to the AR stuff by accident, and I believe I got this guy with explosive gel. At least I think I did, because I had to replay this segment when I was oh, there we go. Anyway, I did have to replay the segment here because basically cloud storage and save data things, you know, it just very sort of a inconvenient for me, I guess, but you know. Anyway, so I'm happy to say that now the gel can now take down an enemy. And also I know I was doing some combat segment stuff there, but that was the last dude. You can get away with that. If it's the last dude, you can get away with using some combat stuff, but just don't be a jackass like I was about it, you know? So now that the guards are taken care of, we can go to Scarecrow himself, which for some reason I always get a little bit turned around in here, maybe because the room's a bit too big or something, but I don't know. So this is the first time that we see Scarecrow in person, and honestly, I think I kind of dig this design. You know, like, as I said in the first video, like, that's not a mask he's wearing. That is legitimately his face. And it's a nice evolution to who he was in Asylum, actually. Because, like, we don't know Scarecrow before Asylum. At least I don't think so. I don't think there was a comic about him or anything, but I could be wrong. I do like that they kept his, they kept his, Freddy Krueger glove and all that, but, you know. But unfortunately, Scarecrow leaves because if we took care of him too early, there wouldn't really be much of a game. So, yeah. Unfortunately, a couple things happen. One, the Arkham Knight and his forces found Barbara and kidnapped her, which we will get into in the following videos. There is no way to stop the bomb from going off. So Batman figures out that, well, if I can't stop it, I can at least shrink the blast radius. That way only the building would be destroyed and not the entirety of the East Coast. So, my bad. Now these canisters are a little bit finicky, I guess. Like, this is one segment of the game I'm not too big a fan of, because you need to move incredibly slow, otherwise the canisters will rupture. And what I just did is the completely wrong way, because there are two sides. Well, there are two slots in both corners of the room. I just took one end and dragged it to the opposite corner. So, you know. This is meant to signify that Batman may actually die, but, you know, come on. It's the goddamn Batman. He's not gonna go down that easily, right? And plus, this game's been out for, like, what, 9 years? 9 years, freaking going on 10. Come on, we all know what's gonna happen here. But for those who don't know, you'll see in a minute. You'll see in a few minutes, I guess. But yeah, I don't really like this one because it's the ice room from City all over again. Like, you need to be very slow, and I feel like I'm in a hurry with this because, well, like time is ticking, you know. But anyway, well, actually, there is something that we're gonna be seeing in a in a few minutes here, but this one is where things start to get a little bit weird. Like, like after we insert this final after we insert this third canister, because I don't think we do realistically, I don't think we do all four. So after just inserting this one, as soon as I actually find a good rhythm to jive with, like, it's so freaking awkward at times. And here it says that the blast radius is increased. So that's definitely the fear toxin trying to kick in. But we are going to be running out of time for this one. So what that say? Hello, Joker. What the hell are you doing here? You're supposed to be dead. Well, we'll get into that in the next video, okay? So with this calm moment right now, if you did enjoy this longer than normal video, please be sure to leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. I don't really know what milestone we'll be celebrating next, so just, I don't know. Anyway, until next time, Slushie Goons, remember, reach for the stars.